Episode 219. What did she take him for? She is my mother, not yours! Get lost! Miranda never realized that her temper was so bad. When she told him to get lost repeatedly, Stephen acted nicely enough. Seeing that he was really gone, she threw the coat into the trash can. She turned around and hit the doorbell like crazy. She did that for a few minutes, but there were still no signs of anyone opening the door. The temperature was dropping. Miranda was beginning to feel cold now. She was shivering. Her gaze fell on the coat in the trash can. The garbage bag was new. It should have just been changed and nothing was inside. When she was wondering whether she should pick it up or not, another neighbor opened the door. Carrying 2 garbage bags, the neighbor threw them into the trash can and gave her a weird look before going back. Miranda wanted to cry as she finally realized that she had what was called a death wish. Turning around and continuing to ring the doorbell shivering, she screamed in a broken voice. "Mom, my mother, my sweet mother, be kind and open the door for your daughter!" No response. She continued to shout, "Dad, are you abandoning me as well?" Her father inside felt so bitter that he almost got up to open the door to her. However, seeing his wife's warning look, he sat down. "Am I even related to you both? Why are you doing this to me? I will freeze to death!" No response. Her nose had turned red and started to run. Holding her arms, she walked to the stairwell and sat down, staring at the door. After she kept her eyes on it for minutes, there was no change. "What the hell?" She stood up and went downstairs, annoyed. There was a 24-hour convenience store at the entrance of the neighborhood. She asked for a cup of hot coffee. When she took out her cell phone to pay for it, the battery was as low as 1%. Staring with her eyes wide, she shouted, "Hurry, it's dying!" The waiter quickly took up the scanner, but it was still too late. "Damn it!" She was going crazy and slammed her phone on the table, scaring the waiter. "How much is the coffee?" A calm and deep male voice rang behind Miranda, and she immediately looked back. Sure enough, him. "Oh, are you talking about this, ladies?" "Yes. 16. Stephen gave the cash and found that she was staring at him. He glanced at her outfit with a half-smile. "Where's the coat I gave you?" "I threw it away!" Taking the coffee and her phone, she found a warm place to sit down and said, "I will pay you back the coffee money and I will pay you for the coat. How much is it?" He did not answer, but took off the scarf from around his neck and unfolded it. The scarf became a shawl. She looked at it and blinked. He put the big scarf on her carefully. It seemed that he was somewhat cautious. She did not refuse and let him put it on her, shrinking into it comfortably. So much warmer. The scarf carried his scent. Drinking her coffee, she looked down and said, "I will pay you back. How much should it be?" "Can you afford it?" Stephen looked at her, slightly upset. "If everything can be compensated with money, there will be not so much grievance in the world, Miss Young." Miranda knew what he wanted and felt a bit humiliated by his words. What did he think? That for a cup of coffee or a coat and a scarf, she would sleep with him? In his dreams. She put the cup on the table, pulled the scarf off her body and threw it back at him. Then she took the coffee to the checkout counter. She said with an ingratiating smile, "Hello, I'm the resident of 23 Madison Drive, the Youngs. My name is Miranda Young. I used to call the delivery service here all the time. I don't have cash on me now. Can I—" "Enough!" Stephen strode over and pulled her hand. "That is enough. Follow me." Miranda was caught off guard, and most of the coffee was spilled on her hand. She gasped, being burned by the hot liquid. He also knew that his reaction was a bit much, but his anger was getting more and more fierce. What did she take him for? It was obvious that he was right in front of her to be relied on. And she still thought of borrowing money from a girl she did not know. Reaching out and taking a pack of paper towels on the counter, Stephen took the coffee from her hand and took out a piece to wipe her hand. She got rid of him and stared at him, striding out of the convenience store. It was the worst luck ever. If it weren't for him, she should be watching TV comfortably at home now. How could she be driven out by her parents? Stephen took out a note and put it on the counter without even looking at it, before he immediately caught up with her. The wind was blowing hard, and Miranda was wearing only her long-sleeved lavender pajamas. In the cold wind, she shivered, crossing her arms. He came behind her and put the scarf on her rashly. Then, he immediately took off his sweater, grabbed her and pulled it down. She was hurt by his rough movements and shouted, "What are you doing?" Stephen did not speak, directly picked up her hand and put it into the sleeve of the sweater. After she was dressed, he pulled the scarf off her and wrapped it around her neck. Maybe it was because of how rough he was, or her grief from the night she was having, but she choked up. Stephen pulled her and walked in front, moving fast. She couldn't catch up. While running, she dropped a slipper. "My shoe!" she exclaimed. Stephen stopped, only to find out that she did not even wear socks. The anger came out of nowhere. He immediately screamed, "What are you doing? Why are you not wearing socks? Are you keeping them to eat later?" Miranda was confused and angered at the same time. Panting, she yelled back, "What are you yelling at me for? Are you so proud that you wear socks? Show me how you can eat them! Idiot! Let go of me!" His hand was thrown away, and he saw her go back to pick up her shoe. In the cold wind, her thin body was covered with a large sweater. The clothes that fit him reached the middle of her thighs. Looking funny and cute, his anger disappeared. She didn't want to see him. After putting on her slipper, she turned and walked in the opposite direction. He felt helpless and shouted, "Hey!" Miranda ignored him, and Stephen pulled his final stunt. "Okay, go. But then you have to return the clothes to me at least. I'm freezing."